Welcome back to Fluent English, the podcast. I'm Georgia. Think in English.
And I'm Willem R. Today's episode is really exciting.
Welcome to Fluent English, the podcast.
Thank you. It is so great to be here.
I am so excited for this one. So I want you, the listener, to picture this scenario. You are standing at the front of a room. Every single person has stopped talking, and all eyes are focused directly on you.
Oh, the worst feeling.
It really is. Suddenly your heart starts pounding in your chest like a doll at a wedding. Your hands feel, a little unsteady. Your mouth goes incredibly dry. And your mind, which was full of great ideas just 5 minutes ago, goes completely terrifyingly blank.
Yes, the classic mind blank.
Exactly. So today we are taking a deep dive into the very core of this experience. We have some amazing source material, a really comprehensive guide on overcoming the fear of public speaking. And we are tailoring this deep dive specifically for you, the English learner.
Right, because speaking a new language just adds a whole other layer of anxiety to it.
It really does. So our mission today is to look beyond that surface panic. We want to understand the biological reality of what is happening in your body, the psychological roadblocks in your way, and how you can systematically train yourself to speak with true confidence.
I love that. It is a profound topic and one that touches almost everyone, actually.
Yes, absolutely. And really quickly, I just want to praise you, the listener, for being here. You could be scrolling Instagram or watching cat videos right now, but you chose to tune in and grow. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. When we talk about building confidence, we simply cannot ignore the physical and emotional barriers that prevent us from opening our mouths. That intense physical reaction you just described, the racing heart, the blank mind, it is incredibly common.
I was looking at the statistics in our research, and it absolutely blew my mind how universal this actually is. There is a clinical term for this,
Yes, there is.
For our listener, I will spell it out slowly because it is a significant word. It is Glossophobia.
Glossophobia.
Glossophobia, yes, the fear of public speaking. And the numbers are just staggering. Over 70% of people experience this at some level. I mean, think about that. If you walk into a room of 10 people, 7 of them are quietly terrified of speaking in front of the group.
It is a remarkable statistic. When researchers survey populations around the world about their greatest fears, glossophobia consistently ranks at the very top.
Right at the top.
Yes, it regularly beats out the fear of financial failure. It beats out taking difficult exams. In many surveys, it even ranks higher than the fear of death.
Wait, higher than death?
Yes, genuinely.
Yeah.
Higher than death, and certainly higher than the fear of spiders or heights. Yet, despite being the most common fear on the planet, it remains completely invisible.
And that invisibility is the core of the problem, isn't it?
Basically, yes.
Because when you stand up to speak and you feel that absolute panic washing over you, it feels entirely personal. You look out at the audience and everyone looks so calm.
Exactly. They just look back at you blankly.
Right. And we see successful CEOs giving perfect presentations or athletes speaking effortlessly on television, and we think, they are naturally gifted. I am the only one who feels this terrified. But the research clearly states those leaders get nervous too.
They absolutely do.
So if everyone is feeling this, from CEOs to athletes, why do we hold on to this illusion that we are suffering completely alone?
Well, we feel alone because we are constantly comparing our internal chaos to everyone else's external performance.
Oh, that is such a good way to put it.
You see, we only see the polished, final result of a speaker on a stage. We do not see their hands trembling backstage 10 minutes before they walked out. We do not see the hours of anxiety they felt the night before.
Right, we just see the confidence.
Exactly. The critical difference with great speakers, the athletes, the leaders, the skilled communicators, is not an absence of fear. They do not possess, like, a magical immunity to glossophobia.
So they still feel it.
They feel the exact same fear. But the secret is they acknowledge it, and they choose to speak anyway. They have learned how to manage the biological response rather than letting it shut them down entirely.
So let's talk about that biological response, because understanding the why changes everything. I used to think my body was betraying me when I got nervous.
A lot of people think that, actually.
But the research explains that the brain is actually trying to protect us.
Yes, it is a survival mechanism.
Exactly. When you stand in front of an audience, the primitive part of your brain looks out, sees 30 pairs of eyes staring intensely at you, and it fundamentally misinterprets the situation. It does not see an audience waiting for a speech.
No, it sees a pack of predators watching you.
Yes. It sounds a massive internal alarm that says, danger, We are being hunted.
That is the famous fight or flight response. And it explains every single symptom of stage fright.
Break that down for us a bit.
Well, when your brain declares an emergency, it instantly floods your system with adrenaline. It diverts blood away from your digestive system, which is why your mouth suddenly goes dry and your stomach feels strange.
Ah, the butterflies in the stomach.
Precisely. And it pumps that blood directly into your major muscle groups to prepare you to literally run away or fight for your life. That is why your hands and knees start shaking. Your fine motor skills are just abandoned.
And the blank mind. Because that has always been the worst part for me. You know exactly what you want to say, and suddenly the brain is completely empty.
The blank mind is perhaps the most interesting biological feature here. Think about it. In a true physical survival situation, say you are running from a wild tiger, you do not need access to complex vocabulary or abstract reasoning.
No, you just need to run fast.
Right. So the brain temporarily limits the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical, thinking part of your brain. It hands full control over to the amygdala, the instinctual survival center. Your brain literally shuts down non-essential systems, including your English language processing.
Wow. That changes the whole perspective. Your body is not failing you at all. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do to keep you alive.
Exactly.
But here is the massive aha moment from our sources. The physical sensations of pure terror and the physical sensations of intense excitement are biologically almost identical.
Yes, they're exactly the same.
Your heart pounds, your breathing accelerates, and your energy spikes whether you are terrified of failing a speech or thrilled to ride a roller coaster. The energy is the exact same.
This is a fundamental concept for anyone trying to build confidence. That rush of adrenaline is simply your body's state of readiness. It is gathering energy for a high-performance moment.
Okay.
The divergence happens entirely in the mind. The only difference between debilitating nervousness and powerful excitement is the cognitive label you attach to those physical feelings.
See, I have to push back on this a bit, though, thinking from the perspective of our listener.
Okay, go ahead.
If my hands are sweating, my heart is racing, and my brain genuinely thinks a tiger is in the room, you are saying I can just tell myself I am excited, and that stops the alarm.
Oh.
Because it sounds a bit like trying to put out a house fire by just pretending it is a warm blanket. Does a simple thought really override millions of years of evolutionary biology?
That is a fair question. The short answer is it does not stop the physical arousal, but it redirects it. The scientific term for this is cognitive reframing.
Cognitive reframing.
Because the physical state of fear and excitement are so similar, your brain actively searches your environment or context to explain why your heart is beating so fast.
It is looking for a reason.
Exactly. If you tell yourself, oh no, I'm forgetting my English words, people are staring, this is a disaster, your brain confirms the danger label and the panic deepens.
That makes sense.
However, if you deliberately interject and tell yourself, my heart is beating fast because I'm excited to share this idea, my body is energizing me to perform, you give your brain a positive context.
So you are giving it a new story.
Yes. Studies demonstrate that speakers who verbally state, I am excited, before stepping on stage, do not lower their heart rate. But they perform significantly better because they channel that high energy into enthusiasm rather than retreat.
So we do not try to calm down. I mean, trying to force yourself to be calm when you are flooded with adrenaline is almost impossible anyway.
Nearly impossible, yes.
Instead, we ride the wave of energy. We say, I am excited, my body is ready. You, listening right now, the next time you feel that panic before speaking up in a meeting, try shifting the label. Say it out loud.
It makes a massive difference. Now, once we understand that our biology is simply providing us with energy, we have to look at the psychological roadblocks.
Right, the mental hurdles.
Yes, the things that prevent us from using that energy effectively.
Yeah.
Our deep dive reveals 3 major mental roadblocks, particularly for language learners. The first and most paralyzing is the profound fear of judgment.
Oh, this is so prominent for anyone speaking a second language. The fear isn't just about forgetting a point. It is the fear of making a grammatical mistake.
Exactly, the grammar.
It is the fear that people will mock your accent or judge your intelligence because your vocabulary isn't perfectly polished. We build this narrative that the audience is sitting there like a panel of strict judges waiting to deduct points for every error.
We really do. But the psychological reality of an audience is entirely different.
How so?
Consider how you feel when you watch someone struggling on stage. When a speaker loses their place or stumbles over their English words, the audience does not feel joy. They feel incredibly uncomfortable.
That is so true. You kind of cringe in your seat for them.
Right. Human beings possess a high degree of empathy. The audience actively wants you to succeed because your success makes them feel relaxed and secure. They are silently cheering for you to find your footing.
That is a beautiful realization. The audience is rooting for you. And if you do make a mistake, which you will because we all do, it does not ruin the presentation.
Not at all.
In fact, mistakes often make you more human. I mean, a flawless robotic speech can actually be quite boring to listen to. When you stumble, smile, and correct yourself, it shows authenticity. It connects you to the people listening because they are human too.
Authenticity is always more compelling than perfection. But to reach that level of comfort, we have to address the second major mental block, which is how we prepare.
Preparation, yes.
Many people believe that the best way to avoid mistakes is to write out every single word of their presentation and memorize it completely.
Like a script.
Like a script.
Yeah.
But as our research points out, rote memorization is actually a massive trap.
I found the explanation of this trap so fascinating. If you memorize a speech word for word, you are basically creating a fragile chain.
A very fragile chain.
And if you forget just one single word, the entire chain breaks. You lose your place, the silence stretches out, and that fight or flight panic comes rushing back. You are so focused on remembering the script that you completely stop communicating with the audience.
Exactly. The goal of preparation is not memorization. It is familiarization. You only need to firmly secure a few critical anchors.
What are those anchors?
You need to know exactly how you will open, because the first 30 seconds are when your adrenaline is highest. You need to know your main structural points, and you need to know exactly how you will close. The space between those anchors should be fluid.
It is exactly like planning a road trip, isn't it?
Oh, that is a great way to think about it.
Yeah, when you drive across the country, you do not memorize every single tree, every rock, and every bend in the highway. That would be completely impossible.
Right.
What you do is memorize your exact starting address. That is your opening line.
Right.
You memorize your final destination, which is your closing line. And you know the 2 or 3 major cities you need to pass through along the way. Those are your key points.
And as long as you know those markers, you can take a scenic route.
Exactly. If you miss a turn, you just take the next street. You use the natural English vocabulary that comes to your mind in that very moment. You do not panic because you know your destination.
That is an excellent framework. It grants you the flexibility to be present in the moment while maintaining absolute structural security.
So that is preparation. What is the third roadblock?
The third mental roadblock we must dismantle is the destructive habit of comparison.
Oh, comparison is the thief of joy.
It really is. We live in an era where we can instantly watch the greatest orators, the most refined TED speakers, and brilliant debaters right on our phones.
And it is so discouraging. We watch these highly produced, beautifully delivered speeches, and we look at our own English skills and think, well, I am light years away from that. I will never sound that eloquent. We defeat ourselves before we even step up to the starting line.
But see, the fundamental flaw in that thinking is that we are comparing our starting line to someone else's finish line.
Oh, wow. Say that again.
We are comparing our raw, unpracticed attempts to their 10th year of professional refinement. Every single speaker you admire, every confident voice you hear, started somewhere.
You weren't born like that.
Not at all. They all had days where their hands shook, where they spoke far too quickly, or entirely forgot their primary argument. The polish you see on the screen is not the result of genetics. It is the result of relentless, consistent practice.
Practice over genetics every single time. So we have dismantled the mental blocks, and we understand the biological energy. Now we arrive at the most crucial part of our deep dive.
A practical application.
Exactly. How do you, the learner listening right now, actually build this confidence in the real world?
We have 5 highly actionable strategies for you.
5 strategies that guide you from the safety of your home to standing confidently in front of a crowd. Let's go through them. The first step is to start ridiculously small.
Yes, and the emphasis must be on the word ridiculously.
Right.
You cannot cure a fear of heights by immediately jumping out of an airplane. You must systematically desensitize yourself. In the context of speaking, this means starting in a zero-pressure environment.
Like where?
Speak English aloud to yourself in front of a mirror. Pay attention to your facial expressions. It will feel completely absurd at first, I promise you.
Oh, I'm sure it feels silly.
It does. But it establishes a baseline of physical comfort with your own voice.
And once the mirror feels easy, you escalate slightly, right? Speak to one trusted friend. Just one. Then, maybe try speaking up in a small group of 3 people. Confidence is not a personality trait you were born with. It is a muscle.
Exactly, a muscle.
And like any muscle, it requires progressive overload. You lift the 5-pound weights for a month before you try to lift the 50-pound weights.
That is perfectly said. And as you begin to lift those heavier weights, you must implement the second strategy. Now, this one is universally dreaded, but absolutely vital.
Okay, what is it?
You must record yourself speaking.
Oh man, I am physically groaning just thinking about that. There is nothing more uncomfortable than setting up a camera, speaking, and then watching yourself back. Hearing the sound of your own recorded voice feels like a mild form of torture.
It really does.
Yeah.
It is painful because of cognitive dissonance. That is the difference between how we think we sound inside our heads and how we actually present to the world.
It is always a shock.
But you simply cannot fix what you cannot see. When you watch a recording of yourself, you gain objective feedback. You might realize you are constantly swaying your body from side to side, which distracts the audience.
Right.
Or you might notice you use filler words like or like every single sentence. Or you might see that your eyes are staring at the floor instead of connecting with the camera.
It is the ultimate reality check. It strips away your perception and shows you the truth. You identify the physical habits and you slowly train them out. So what is the third strategy?
The third strategy is a tool you can use in the exact moment the panic strikes, right before you begin to speak. We need to talk about the mechanics of breathing.
Breathing. It sounds simple, but it is so important.
Very important. When the fight-or-flight response activates, our breathing becomes rapid and shallow. It is isolated to the upper chest.
Like panting, almost.
Yes. And this shallow breathing continuously signals to the brain that the danger is still present. To break the cycle, you have to manually override the system.
How do we do that?
The technique is simple. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, expanding your stomach. Hold it for a brief moment, then exhale very slowly through your mouth.
I was reading about the underlying mechanism here, and it is fascinating. This deep diaphragmatic breathing stimulates something called the vagus nerve.
Yes, the vagus nerve.
When you exhale slowly, the vagus nerve sends a literal chemical signal to your brain, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. It tells the brain, the emergency is over. We are safe.
It is incredible.
Let's actually do this right now. If you are listening to this, pause whatever you were doing for a second and try it with us. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold the breath, and exhale fully through your mouth. Just one deep cycle, and you can physically feel the tension leaving your shoulders.
It is a biological reset switch. It gives you control over your physiology. Now, once you are breathing properly and you step up to speak, you must employ the fourth strategy. You must shift the dynamic. You must talk to people, not at them.
Talk to people, not at them. This is a profound shift in mindset.
Huge shift.
Because when we get nervous, we tend to view the audience as a single, terrifying monster. We look over their heads or we stare at the back wall and we deliver a rigid lecture. But the most captivating speakers do not lecture, they converse.
Exactly. They break the giant audience down into individuals. You make sustained eye contact with one person in the front row and deliver a complete sentence to them.
Just one person.
Yes. Then you shift your gaze, find someone in the middle, and deliver the next thought to them. You smile. You observe their nods of agreement.
By treating the presentation as a series of one-on-one conversations, you strip away the artificial pressure of the stage. You have conversations every single day, so your brain knows exactly how to do it.
Exactly. Which brings us to our fifth and final strategy. It might be the most difficult one to master, but it is the ultimate marker of a confident speaker.
Let's hear it.
You must learn to embrace the silence.
Oh, silence. That is a tough one.
To a nervous speaker, silence feels like an eternity. If they pause for 2 seconds to gather their thoughts, their internal alarm bells ring, screaming that they are failing.
Right, and to avoid the quiet, they fill the gap with nervous chatter, speaking faster and faster or relying heavily on ums and huts.
But the reality of time is distorted when you're on stage. To the speaker, a 2-second pause feels like an hour. But to the audience, a 2-second pause feels, powerful.
Feels deliberate.
Yes. Our research highlights that a well-placed pause accomplishes 2 crucial things. First, it projects immense authority. It shows you're completely in control of the room and not rushing out of fear.
Then the second thing.
Second, it gives the audience the necessary cognitive time to actually absorb and understand the point you just made. Silence is not empty space. It is the space where comprehension happens.
Do not fear the quiet moments. Lean into them. Let them do the heavy lifting for your ideas.
Absolute.
Well, we have covered so much ground today. We have moved from understanding the ancient biology of our fear to reframing that fear into excitement. We have dismantled the mental roadblocks of judgment, preparation, and comparison.
Yes, and we laid out the practical path. Starting small, analyzing recordings, mastering the breath, conversing with the audience, and commanding the silence.
As we bring this deep dive to a close, there is a fundamental truth we want to leave you with, directed right at you, the learner.
The ultimate takeaway is this: fluency and confidence are not built in comfort. Every articulate English speaker you admire has stumbled. They have forgotten words. They have faced the exact same racing heart and dry mouth that you face.
But they kept going.
Yes, they did not let the discomfort dictate their actions. They kept practicing until their voice became stronger than their fear. Your English does not require absolute perfection to be valuable. Your accent does not need to be neutralized to be understood. You simply have to show up, embrace the imperfection, and speak.
Showing up is the absolute hardest part, but it is the only way forward.
And this brings us to a final thought I want you to deeply consider as you move forward. We know that making mistakes on stage is actually what makes a speaker feel authentic, human, and relatable to the audience.
Right.
So how does that change the way you view perfection in your English learning journey starting today? If perfection is genuinely less appealing than authenticity, what is holding you back?
What a beautiful perspective, redefining perfection. Remember this, the world needs to hear your unique voice. It needs to hear your specific ideas and your personal stories. Do not let a biological alarm system or the fear of a misplaced verb keep you silent.
Please don't let it.
If this deep dive resonated with you and helped shift your perspective today, please do us a favor, like, subscribe, and share this podcast with someone in your life who might need a reminder of their own strength and a boost of confidence today. Keep speaking, keep growing, and never, ever stop.